and we already ate dinner. But did you have dinner? Mister's still wearing his pajamas for the day? Yeah, you still got your Batmans on?
I can't.
That was very important. I'm glad we had that little interruption there. But the good news for today is, even though it's Make Food Monday and we already ate dinner, I had something else planned. Today, we are making dessert in the pressure cooker. Does anybody like rice pudding? These kids wouldn't know because they've never had rice pudding. So today, I'm making one of Daddy's favorites. It is forbidden rice pudding. It is actually a black rice that is very yummy. So today I'm gonna try to make that rice pudding in the pressure cooker and see if we can get it to come out even creamier than it would normally. Ready? For this recipe, we are going to be using black or forbidden rice. It's actually pretty yummy. Tastes very similar to regular rice, except it's got more nutrients in it because of its nice dark color. We're using 2 eggs. We're using 2.5 cups of water, some milk, some cream, some vanilla extract, sugar, and salt. All right, Dad. You ready to have this yummy dessert?
Oh yeah. I'm
Dad's
waiting.
always ready for rice pudding. Okay, so for this particular recipe, we need 1 cup of forbidden rice. We need 1.5 cups of water. And we need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. But in true me fashion, I'm not gonna measure that. I'm just gonna go for it. So there we go. We're gonna latch that lid on, push it down, and then we're gonna turn it to lock. Okay, we got it sing to us, we're ready to go. So the recipe that I found said to use 3 minutes on high pressure. So my cooker does not have the high and low pressure buttons, I guess. So I was going to just use the rice setting, but the rice setting does not let me use the time cook function. So in order to get the 3 minutes that I need and then natural pressure release, which means don't push the button to let the pressure off, just to let it do it naturally. In order to do that with 3 minutes of cook time, I have to actually use a different setting. So I'm going to use the soup stew button in order to do that, and then I'm gonna set the time for the right amount, and then hopefully we'll get rice that's cooked at the end of the 3 minutes cook time and 10 minutes natural pressure release. Okay, so I'm going to hit the soup stew button, the time cook button, and then I'm going to take this all the way down to 3 minutes. Actually, I'm going to do 4 minutes. I always change my mind. I'm going to do 4 minutes on this because I'm using black rice instead of white rice. And it might take just a little bit longer. So I'm going to use 4 minutes of actual cook time. I'm going to push start. Now the important part for this particular recipe is to let it do it the natural pressure release, which means that we're just going to let it keep cooking until, even though the timer is going to go off and it's going to kick over to keep warm, I'm going to let it release the pressure on its own. Instead of pushing my nifty button on top, I'm not going to push that this time. I'm going to let it come down for 10 minutes on its own, and then I'm going to push that button. That's what natural pressure release means. Okay guys, so my beep beeped about 10 minutes ago, actually exactly 10 minutes ago. I've been watching it. So now I'm gonna let the pressure off of it. Whatever's remaining, I'm gonna let it off right now, which was not very much. 10 minutes almost took the entire pressure off, so I'm just gonna leave the button down for just another second, make sure that I've got all the pressure off before I open it, and then we're gonna open it, add some ingredients, and then switch gears. Okay, so now I need to add 1.5 cups of milk, but I'm actually going to use half cream and half milk. So I'm going to use 3/4 cup of cream and 3/4 cup of milk. I've got 1, 2, 3/4 cup of cream, and I've got 1. Two, 3/4 cup of milk. Hey, you know, when you're me in the kitchen, stuff like that happens and you just roll with it. So yeah, we're going with that. Okay, now I've got my mess cleaned up. Now I need half a cup of sugar, but because I'm me and I really don't like to measure anything, I am this time because I don't know this recipe, but I've got half a cup of sugar, and then because I like things just a little extra sweet, I always add just a touch extra. If it's dessert, it's supposed to be sweet, right? Okay, then we just stir to combine it. Okay, I'm going to add half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, and the vanilla and whisk those together. So there's the milk. One egg. Blech. Yeah, eggs. I like to put a little shell in there. Adds a little crunch to your dessert, you know? Okay, maybe that wasn't intentional. Daddy decided he didn't want anything crunchy in his eggs, or didn't want anything crunchy in his dessert, so I took the shell out. Now we need half a teaspoon of vanilla. That ought to do. Now we whisk those together and add it to the pot. See if I can make a bigger mess. That's my favorite part of cooking, is making the mess. And then I just leave it for Daddy to clean up, because if I cook, he cleans, right? It's only fair.
I just want rice pudding. That's all.
See? He doesn't even care if I make a mess. He'll clean it up because he wants the rice pudding. Okay. I'm supposed to put these through a mesh strainer, but I don't have a mesh strainer, so I'm just going to put them in and mix them up. So here we go, right over to the pot. I'm probably going to regret not doing what it said, but I can't exactly do what it said if I don't have one, so. For best results, put it through a mesh strainer. For my kind of results, just mix it in. Okay, now I'm going to turn on the saute function and get this to a boil. Okay, I'm going to use my saute, which is the Sear roast function. I'm going to bring this to a boil, and it should be, you know, probably 10 minutes or less until I get this to a boil. So I'm going to keep stirring it in this pot till I get this up to a boil. Okay, I've been stirring this almost constantly for about 3 minutes, and if I stop for just a second, you can see that it is starting to boil. But I don't want to let it do that because I don't want it to scorch on the bottom. So I've got it almost boiling. I'm supposed to let it boil and then turn it off and let it cool. So I do want to add, though, that black rice is a little bit harder than white rice. So if you like your rice pudding super mushy, you might want to give it a couple more minutes of cook time. We make ours just a little bit chewy because that's how Daddy likes it. So just FYI, if you like it a little mushier, you might want to give it a little bit more cook time. In the pressure cook part, not in this part. Okay, I think we are officially boiling. Now, if you turn it off, boop, and let it cool, it will thicken as it cools. So it says in the recipe to remove this from the pressure cooker, I think just to get it away from the heat source and make sure that it doesn't scorch on the bottom while it cools. So I'm gonna move it over here and let it cool for just a little while. I'm going to make some homemade fresh whipped cream. Okay, I don't know how much cooking knowledge you have, but here's a confession of mine. I didn't know for years and years and years that heavy whipping cream is actually how you make whipped cream. I just bought Cool Whip because I had no idea. My sister actually showed me that. My sister shows me a lot of things, but my sister showed me this, and I'm gonna show you in case you, like me, do not know this. Okay, so you add some heavy whipping cream to your bowl. The colder the better. So straight out of the refrigerator is actually the best. You add some vanilla. You probably should measure this, but since I don't measure anything, I'm just gonna show you. I just kind of go bloop. That's enough. And then you add your powdered sugar. Now this is to taste. You can keep tasting along the way and see if you've got enough in there. See if you want it a little bit sweeter, a little bit less sweet. Depending on what I'm making it for, I adjust the amount of sweetness that I want. So for rice pudding, I don't want it super sweet because rice pudding is not a super sweet dessert. So then you just turn it on. You're gonna get a little bit of a poof. just give it a little taste. Make sure it's the sweetness that you want. Yep, that's perfect. I've also been known to add cream cheese to my whipped cream. That's yummy. Or cinnamon, which is also good depending on what you're using it for. For this batch, since it's for rice pudding, I think cinnamon and rice pudding is awesome together. So, a little bit of cinnamon in there. And mix that up. Yum. Ooh, does that look yummy?
Yes, it does.
All right, Dad, you be first. Here's my guinea pigs. Ready? Go.
Mmm. Mmm.
Is it good?
Mmm. If there's a dessert that brings back memories from childhood, this is really good. And it's healthy. Healthy.
It's healthy-ish. For a dessert, it's okay. All right, let's see. My other two guinea pigs. Ready?
I'm not really sure.
I know, these guys aren't real sure because it's kind of weird looking. All right, let's go.
I'm a weird looking.
Okay, so they both tasted just the whipped cream. Now taste the pudding.
Ew.
No? Okay, where's my thumbs? Where's my thumbs? How many thumbs do we get? So Malia's over here spitting out all the rice.
Ew.
You don't like it?
Ah, it's gross.
So do you like the flavor? You just don't like the texture or what?
I hate it.
The flavor too? What about the whipped cream with the cinnamon in it? Is it good?
Well, Malia doesn't like whipped cream.
Malia's not a big whipped cream fan. So is it good with the
I'm
cinnamon
not
in
a whipped cream fan. I'd eat it with a spoon.
it? Okay, you have a spoon.
Oh, yeah.
Eat it.
It's not like a bowl full.
What about you, buddy? What do you think?
I think it's good. It tastes like whipped cream.
So how about that, the texture of the rice? Is the texture okay or is it kind of the...
It's good.
Is it good? Good. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, Dad's over there enjoying his. Haven't changed your mind yet?
That flavor is so good. So good.
Would you never change your mind?
How about you? You gonna change your mind or is it still mint?
Still.
Oh man, how about you? Do you have any thumbs over here? He's our dairy-free guy, so he has a candy instead. You get 2 thumbs for the candy? 2 thumbs? Nice. Is that a thumb sideways, Mia? How come it's sideways and not down?
It's starting to taste good in my throat. I mean, my stomach.
Does it actually hurt you to say that you don't like something I cook? 2 thumbs over there and a licked bowl on that side. So, pressure cooker dessert, yay or nay?
Yay. Yay.
Yay!
Daddy says yay. Mia says meh.
What's that?
Meh. Yeah, Mia
yucky.
said it was yucky, huh? Mia didn't like it. Yep.
And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and just share the brain. And now, good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now. Good.